Hi guys, welcome back to the She Who Dares podcast. I'm your host, Krystal Wilson, and we've got a really exciting episode today because I'm actually interviewing my client, Krystal, as well. And I'm going to be taking you guys through her story, her journey. Krystal has actually worked with me since 2023. She has done one-to-one breakthrough work with me, took a bit of a break and integrated all of that really deep and powerful work, and then came back to me last year in 2025, and we did a 6-month business mentorship as she had a really big goal and passion project on her heart to launch her business, Ember Soul. And now that our business mentorship has finished, Krystal has jumped into my mastermind, She Who Dares in Business. Welcome to the She Who Dares podcast. I'm your host, Krystal Wilson, the founder of She Who Dares. I'm a specialized breakthrough and mindset coach, business mentor, online course creator, and your number one no BS hype woman. I'm here to remind you who the fuck you are and reignite your personal power through powerful and expanding conversations on all things business, mindset, and energetics, to help you break through to your next level of success in all areas of your life, business, and bank account. Each episode is designed to expand your mind, shift your identity, raise your frequency, as well as give you success strategies to help you step into your highest, most powerful, abundant, successful, and magnetic you. So, I dare you to join me each episode, and I double dare you to implement what you learn and go all in on you. All in on your life, your business, your success. Because if you do, like so many of my She Who Dares clients and students, you will become everything that you know deep down you can be. Ready? Let's friggin' do this. Welcome to the podcast, Krystal.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm so excited.
I know, you know what's so interesting is you are an avid listener as well. So like not only do you listen every week, and I know you were really upset when not upset, but like really were keen for episodes to come back as I took a little sabbatical recently. So you are my first official interview for 2026, and I think it's absolutely perfect.
Let's go. I'm so excited.
Amazing. So I want to take you way back because we've actually worked together on and off in some capacity since 2023. So can you take me back to when you first came into my world in 2023? What was kind of going on in your life at that point? Like where were you that you were looking for that support, that coaching, and you ended up doing breakthrough work with me?
So basically, I'd been floating around your universe for some time, like in and out, just seeing what you were doing. And then I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of the same mundane, everyday thing and just squishing all of my dreams and all of the things that I wanted to be as a mom. That's the part that really got me. Yeah. I really wanted to connect with my daughters, and I just felt like I was not doing that. I'd been working in a role where I'd been supporting families to, you know, show up and be the best that they could be. And I just was like, I would get home and I just feel such a disconnect. Hubby, we were ships in the night. He was doing shift work and I was like, there's got to be something more. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to work on me first, and then everything else kind of just flowed after that.
I remember that being one of your main drivers when we did breakthrough, is that you have 2 young daughters and you really wanted to like break the cycle and have this really deep and beautiful, which is so, because I know you, like so bizarre that was even your goal, because that's so who you are. But at that time, there was so much of your own stuff in the way that was getting in the way of you really being vulnerable and being able to express your love at the capacity that you want to like connect and be with your daughters. And having worked with so many women, like, and I think I probably mentioned this to you when we were very first connected, this is such a common thing. I feel like a lot of women come to me
post having children, because they're like, I am struggling to like be with my kids or I can't even be with myself.
Yeah.
How can I sit and be with my daughter who sees me so clearly? You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely. I felt like they were at the age where they could see through it all.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, no, we are not going down this road of them seeing that I can't freely express my emotions. I'm saying one thing, but leading in a different direction. And I just knew that I didn't want them to repeat the cycle that I was doing. Obviously, as a mum, you support them in all of the different areas, but it was like, there is no way that I'm going to show up for them not authentically. And it was interesting because my youngest was like, she was visibly upset and crying. And I was like, she said to me, I've never actually seen you cry before. And I was like, ugh. That's really sad, because we all as mums talk about, hiding in the closet crying. I would take super duper long showers just so I could like have that emotional release and reset. And I didn't realize how much that was impacting my girls, of not showing up and just like, not sitting on the lounge and bawling my eyes out, but just going, you know what, I'm feeling this type of way and let's just move through it, allow them to see it, and then go on about it all day, just so that they could see that, mums have this thing too where we feel these big emotions. And so, yeah, it was really an eye-opener for me, a disconnect from the girls that I felt like there's got to be something more. And I knew that there was. And yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what shifted for you in Breakthrough? For those who don't know, Breakthrough is my one-to-one work where we go really deep into clearing the past, clearing the emotional residue that you might be holding onto subconsciously from past events, past traumas, past hurts, and also the belief systems that we hold against ourselves that are absolutely not true and out of alignment with who we truly are in the world. So for you, Krystal, that's that kind of really deep, identity shifting, releasing. That's why I call it Breakthrough, because you literally break through all of your bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, cool, I'm in alignment, can see me, I can be with me. And you kind of heal your relationship with yourself at a really deep level, which has such a profound impact on all of the important relationships that as a woman or a mother or a wife that you will have. So tell me what actually shifted, because we did Breakthrough for probably about 6 months together. So what shifted for you in that time of doing Breakthrough?
Just one word, it was just magical, honestly. I'd done talk therapy before. Like I said, I've worked almost 2 decades in supporting families and individuals one-on-one. And I was like, yep, done the talk therapy. Oh, yep. Hit Breakthrough. And I was like cracked open. And I was just like, this is it. It was a point in my life where I was so completely ready to just open it all up. I needed somebody who was going to call me out, but also like completely hold me and just say, yep, whatever is coming up for you, and just be with me in that space. I knew that doing previously different types of therapies, that it wasn't the right fit for me, purely because I knew what I needed to say in order to get to the next step, because I do that with the families. So I needed someone that knew how to go super deep internally with me in my subconscious and just pull out what were my blocks, because people would say, what's going on for you? And I'd be like, oh, I'd be surface level. And I'd be like, there is something so much deeper internally. Why can I not move to the next phase of who I want to become? I knew who I wanted to be. And I knew that working through Breakthrough was the only option for me.
Yeah, that's so powerful. And I love that, because I feel like a lot of women do come to me once they've done talk therapy, they've seen a counselor, they've seen a psychologist. And I really believe that all of that work is
100%.
really an important part of the process. And the reason that I really love the work that I do and the style of coaching that I offer women is that there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Right. And you are not going to be able to manipulate me, which is what I used to do when I used to sit in front of my psychologist, when I used to sit in front of my counselor. I would either feel like they don't get it.
Yeah.
Because they
100%.
have to play by the rules. They have to stay, surface.
Stay inside the lines.
Yeah, stay inside the box of the parameters of like the scope in which I can work in. And so I feel like a lot of women, breakthrough is so profound for them because it's like, oh, I can't hide with Krystal. Like, this is me truly pulling up a seat to the mirror and facing my stuff in an environment where I am pushed, but also safe, held, but also challenged, at the same
Absolutely.
time. So I love
there were
that.
definitely some sessions where I was like, far out, like, God, that was rough. Because like you get deep and it's all you. It's the person who's working through it, you're guiding. And I was just like, yeah, I think today is going to be a massive day of just sitting in this, allowing it to sink in. And then as you integrate throughout the process of working with you, you just find it to be so, it's like cathartic and everything becomes a realization of like, oh, this is exactly who I'm meant to be. And this is like, why have we been hiding like this whole mask situation?
So what was life like for you in your relationship with yourself? One of your big intentions was your relationship with your daughters. Like what was the actual like transformation internally and then externally post breakthrough for you?
Post breakthrough, my whole world flipped on its head. I trusted myself so deeply to the sense that we had a conversation about what we wanted as a family. Now, at the time, my daughters were 8 and 12, and my husband, we had a conversation around like what we wanted as a family. And one of those things was to spend more time with each other. Hubby was a shift worker. We barely saw him. And when he was there, he was so not there. And for me, I was there, but not there because I was thinking about all of the tabs in my head of my to-do list. And then we decided that we were going to sell our family home and travel Australia in a caravan. And that was the type of work that breakthrough got me to trust that this is what feels right for you. This is what feels right for your family. Dive all of the way in and then see what happens. We had lived a life of, working super hard, long hours. So we had the ability that we could do that. And I'm so glad that we were able to get to that. And that purely was, honestly, all through the work of breakthrough because I was able to trust myself and know that this was going to be the start of so much more of what our family was going to gain from not only travel, but just being with each other and not in just the same space. But all of the things that I had learned through breakthrough was like, hold up, what are you trying to hide here? Like, let's show up authentically and like really be in the moment. Or I just think it just exposed everything for me.
I think that, just to give some even context to the listener, like at the end of breakthrough, Krystal sold her family home. I think you got more than what you wanted as well. Like
way more.
And like packed up her life, packed up her children, took them out of school, traveled around Australia. Like it was just such a huge,
it was massive.
Do you know what I mean? Like I have been living inauthentically. I have been hiding and pushing down all of my shit. And when we released all of that, you truly were like, let's go to that next level. I'm not holding myself back. And I feel that when we are, which is so common, we've got all of this stuff that we just keep pushing down, it does block our ability to lead ourselves like really powerfully.
Yeah.
It does block our ability to trust ourselves because your intuition is saying, hey, we need to deal with this. Hey, we need to deal with this. And you're like, not today, Satan. Not today.
We've got to pay the bills. The kids have got to pack their lunches, like all of that stuff.
Yeah. And so when you really actually, I often use the phrase like pull the seat up to the mirror and face your bullshit with compassion and love and understanding, work through it. That's the beginning of that first breakthrough of really being able to live authentically and trust yourself and love yourself and not love yourself in that like Instagram mushy bullshit. No. It's like such a deep level of like, to me, self-love is like being able to see your own bullshit, call yourself out lovingly and change your behavior. Yeah. That's really the depths of self-love. And
I felt like breakthrough was like this internal switch. It's this internal dialogue through every season of your life. So not only when you're working in breakthrough, but after, it's this internal dialogue of like, and so breakthrough also puts a break on your bullshit when you're going through the everyday life of like, hold up, you might want to check yourself here, or like, is this truly what you're wanting, or are you presenting as something else? Yeah. So that's what I loved about it.
So you and your family, this was like then the end of 2023, you sold your home, you pulled the girls out of school, you are literally living in a caravan as the most connected and intimate way you've ever lived as a family, doing the things you want to do that light you up. And then you circle back. Look, with my clients with such a deep and profound experience, there's a level of love and friendship and respect, regardless of whether we're in sessions and currently working together or not. So I was always like on the sidelines watching, we were connected the whole time. Yeah. However, you circle back to me last year. And I'd love to know when the desire to start a business came through and like what made you come back to me, because breakthrough and like business mentorship, even though they're so deeply intertwined, one is like deep personal development, transformational work, and then one is more like strategy and like, let's actually launch this thing. So what made you circle back to me, and where did this idea for this business come from?
I have been always thinking about how I can do my own thing. I've always not pushed the limits, but I've always gone outside of my scope of work. I've worked in the corporate space for almost 2 decades, and I always felt like I needed more. I always felt like I went above and beyond for the people that I worked with and for. And I was just like, there's got to be something more. And how can I create something that is really beautiful for people? How can I create something that also works with my family? Because now I'm so, will sound probably horrendously gross, I'm so obsessed with my husband and my daughters. Like when they decided to go back to school, I was like, no, wait, hold up. Can we just keep doing this life? So I was like, how can I create something that allows me the flexibility and the freedom of time? Like, don't worry about the whole money aspect. I was like, I just want time with my people so that when things come up for them, they know that I'm going to show up, because that's important for me. And so I was like, all right, we've been dabbling in this crystal world for a while. Krystal by name, Krystal by nature, literally holding a crystal and wearing them now, that I was like, how can I merge these worlds together? I've got so much experience with supporting families. I've got so much experience in the mental health space. How can I bring the two worlds together? And I was like, look, let's book in with Krystal. We'll nut it all out. And initially it was like, babe, this is probably a little bit of a passion project. Let's see how it goes. And I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. But then I realized I needed to put way more weight on it. It couldn't just be a passion project. I want this to be my lifestyle forever, where my girls can just call me and be like, hey, having a terrible day, come pick me up. Hey, I've got this presentation on. Hey, I've got this footy thing on, and I can be there no matter what. And so I feel like now was the right time to just circle back and work on my whole mindset around being a business owner, because never been one. I've always been told, hey, this is what your job description is. This is what you can do. Oh, don't cross that line, even though you know that it's going to be beneficial to that person you're working with. And so I had to really change my whole mindset of getting out of the corporate world and being my own boss. And what does that even look like?
What were the biggest fears or doubts that you did carry before we started Business Mentorship about starting your own business and leaving the corporate world and going out on your own?
Failure. You want it to succeed. And also, like, what are all the other people going to think? Like, why is the corporate world so bad? Corporate world's not bad. It just doesn't work for me anymore. It doesn't work for my family and what my values are. And so it's not to be like I'm better than that. It's literally I want more than that. And so the biggest thing was definitely failure, but also fear of what other people are going to think of me. Like, who does this girl think she is? Like, honestly. And yeah, those were the two things. And also the biggest shift I would say is me constantly saying, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, and then like also hiding behind everything. And yeah, that was the biggest shift for me.
One thing that I'll share with you, remind you in the audience, is that Krystal didn't like social media, was on social media, didn't show her face, didn't want to be seen, didn't want to be heard, wanted privacy. And that was a real block. And I remember our very first call, I was like, we can do this, but just so you know, you are absolutely showing your face. Especially the business, like Krystal's business is called Ember Soul. I'm going to get you to kind of just explain what it is in a moment, because it's so interesting. It's like a full circle moment. Like, you know, you started working with me in 2023 doing Breakthrough because you wanted to connect more deeply to your daughters. And that really has then transformed your relationship with yourself, your daughters, your husband, your life. And that's then birthed Ember Soul, like the intention of Ember Soul. And so one of the things that I first said to you was like, we can do this, but you are going to have to get over your social media bullshit. Like, because you're a founder now, like you're a founder, and it's such a beautiful business and intention and purpose and that what you wanted to create. And it was going to need you to show up and educate people and speak about it. And I just want to like give you flowers and props, because it was something that was not natural for you to want to do. You avoided those things and you just got in and you did it, and you've been on social media and you've been doing face to camera and doing all of these amazing things on social media where people get to feel you and hear your story and connect to you as the founder, which is such an important piece in like 2025, 2026 going forward. You know, if you're creating an online business, people want to know the person behind the business. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your fears and doubts. Well, first of all, tell us what Ember Soul is.
So Ember Soul Collective is born out of what I needed as a little one and what I realized mums were also kind of craving. So it was built out of that. And then I've just also merged all of my skill set from my corporate world, because let's not let that go to waste, because that holds so much weight as well. So it's a creative wellness experiences for young ones, for mums and daughters, and now for the corporate space as well. So they're able to access what Ember Soul is all about, which is just like connecting with yourself, connecting with each other, and just showing up exactly as you are.
So Krystal has workshops, like mother-daughter workshops, and workshops that she runs with young girls. And it's about, you know, self-belief, confidence, self-love, the healing that relationship with yourself, which is so powerful because you were late 30s, I think, when you started your breakthrough. So you really did the work to heal your relationship with yourself once you already had, you know, children. And so it's such a beautiful thing to think about, like, cool, how can I help young girls, like, you know, have this experience in their own way now, and then also do beautiful workshops with mums and daughters to create a space where they can connect to each other emotionally and be vulnerable and have this beautiful experience. And then we did corporate workshops, which was super cool. It was going to be a big theme in 2026 because that was such a great, another leg of the business of Ember Soul. Tell us about your first corporate workshop, which you ran in 2025.
Yeah, I was packing it. Absolutely packing it. I'm on the way driving. I'm trying to like pump myself up, listening to like, okay, we've got to set the tone, you know, listen to the calming music, bring that energy down. I was so excited and petrified all in the same moment. And it was just so freaking awesome. Like when I got there, the people were just so beautiful, like so helpful in the sense of like, do you need tables? Do you need this? Like, how can we help? Yeah, it was a blessing to have the first corporate workshop with those people because they were just so beautiful. And so setting up was amazing. And then actually running it, I was like, okay, I just kept saying like, slow down. Like, this is not about you. This is about them. Give them the experience. So yeah, and the feedback at the end, I was like a deer in headlights because the feedback was just so beautiful, and the intention and the things that they took away from it, I was like, that's why I did it. That's exactly why I'm doing it. And yeah, it's just been flowing on from then, and it feels so good. So this was the thing. We got an RSVP for 20 people and I was real packing it, and then 8 turned up and I was like, and so I feel like that was literally the universe saying like, let's just ease you in. Let's just ease you in. So, you know, there's always things where you can look at it and go, damn, I wish all 20 people came. And that would be amazing. But at the same time, like those 8 people that decided to turn up on a weekend were like so ready to be there and just be present and just dive straight into what we had at the workshop. So building their own crystal frames and yeah, going through guided meditations. And it was so beautiful.
Amazing. And I think when you're running a corporate workshop versus facilitating your own workshop that you've marketed and you're selling tickets to, you know, it's not your responsibility how many people, actually the company that's hired you to come in.
Yeah.
It's how they set it up, how they're inviting their
For
staff
sure.
into that experience. Tell me, what do you now know is possible for you and Ember and Soul having completed our business mentorship together?
What I now know is literally everything is possible. If I can think it, like this literally was just a little idea. I sat literally here. We now have a house. I now use this as the studio. I literally sat here with you when we first started and I was like, I've got this idea. And it started as this little passion project of maybe it's going to work, maybe it's not. What's it going to look like? And then literally anything that you can think and dream of, as long as you are putting in the energy, that's the trick. As long as you are driving it, 100%. Literally, if I'm sitting in the lounge room and I'm like, oh, this is like, I'm not really, you know, in the space, I'd be like, yeah, but you're not leading. You are not leading. So how about we start making contact with people? How about we start making content? So it's literally all about you moving and being the energy that drives the business. You're not going to be on all of the time, but it's just literally giving yourself grace as well when you're not in that headspace of like, okay, let's just do self-care. Let's be really focused on yourself today. And but we're going to be continuing to move through. So yeah, that's what I've got.
What about what you learned strategically about business? Because somebody who'd come like heavily from the corporate space had never, you dibble-dabbled in little businesses and things like that in the past, that you didn't follow through when it got uncomfortable, when it got hard. That was the point where most people go, oh, no, too hard, can't do it. So strategically, what have you learned in how to run a business, hold a business, build a business?
Definitely, there needs to be some form of like structure. I was just like, I would wake up and be like, so today we're going to do this. And I would not put anything down on paper. I would not put anything down into like on the laptop. I would just sit in front of it and look busy, like, oh, I'm doing the thing. But then I realized, no, we need a little bit of structure here, babe. Like we need to figure out how, okay, who do you want to work with? Okay, well, let's start there. So when you think that like, I don't even know where to start, just literally, I'm just going to get on Instagram and start talking about what it is I actually do. Or I'm going to call a business and just see, hey, are you guys interested in doing a creative wellness workshop? Because this would be amazing and this is what I can bring. But yeah, so it's definitely about probably just start with bloody pen and paper and come up with a bit of a plan.
Do you feel like now you have, like before you didn't have the structure, you didn't actually know what levers to move in your business every day and things that you need to be doing? And now post, you know, one-to-one business mentorship, and you're in the mastermind where we're moving into phase 2, which is build business. Do you feel now like you are, okay, cool, I have the systems in place. I know what levers I need to move so that I can actually grow this business?
Absolutely. So you talk a lot about 1%ers and just making sure that you're doing those 1%ers every single day. So consistently. Also, again, giving yourself grace on days that you're feeling like trash or the kids are like, you've got to focus more there, but making sure you're consistent, not only for yourself, but for your business. Because if you're not doing that, then your business isn't going to grow either. And I think that was my downfall previously, is that I didn't have that foundation of like keeping myself accountable, of going, hey, these are the things that you need to do in order to make the business run. and also all of the other stuff that you would hook me up with. So like quarterly reviews, who would have thought? Did quarterly reviews in the corporate world, never once thought about how I could do a quarterly review for Ember and Soul. Like, what does that even look like? So in the tools and the systems that you gave me has only built a strong foundation for my business. And the only way that it can go is up and making even more money so that, you know, I do have the freedom of time.
For those listening at home, I teach a framework which is build the woman, build the business. And so the build the woman part is the mindset, the energetics, the identity side of actually stepping into and becoming a woman who is successful in business, a brand founder. And then the phase 2 of my frameworks is build the business, which is the systems, the strategy, the sales that you are able to actually scale the business. And I think a lot of women have really big entrepreneurial spirits. They have a lot of big ideas. And the issue is that they have the idea, but they don't have a plan and they don't have systems and they don't have a structure. And when you don't know what levers you need to move in your business each day, week, month, quarter, then it's very easy to like not actually take actions that are income producing activities in your business. So what that can look like is fucking around with the website again, creating another workbook, you know, the things that are creative and fun to do, but those things are not the income producing activities in a business. And so that framework is really powerful in helping women to give them the identity and the systems and structure of like, cool, because once you know what you need to do and what levers you need to pull, it's a totally different game and it's way harder to self-sabotage. It's so easy to self-sabotage and not take action when you just don't have the information of what you're meant to be doing every day. So I think that was a huge help for you as somebody coming from corporate to launching Ember and Soul. So what I'm going to ask you now, I'd love to know if a woman is listening right now and she's feeling stuck or scared or like she's, you know, stuck in a cycle or like she's actually outgrown her current level and she is ready for her next level, but she doesn't really know where to start or what to do, what would you want her to know?
Do you want to change your life? Are you just so done? Because that's where I was when I first jumped into your world, was like, I am so worth more than this. We get stuck on the hamster wheel because that's what we think we're meant to do. Don't be scared of what other people are saying. Like, oh, no, don't do that. Don't sell your house. Don't travel Australia. Don't connect deeper with your kids. Don't become who you truly want to be. Don't start that business. Why don't you just go get a job? Create the life that you want. And literally, if I didn't do breakthrough, there is no way I would be where I am today. I probably would have been institutionalized in the sense of like in a mental health facility because I just was so lost. You know, they use these big words of like burnt out. I wasn't burnt out. My whole soul was just actually fizzled out. So if you're listening and you're like, yep, this is just one person. I'm a mum. I'm a wife. I'm just me. At the core of it all, you're just literally the little girl in you is like, just bloody do it. Because if you're not happy with your life at the moment, or you're so dissatisfied, or you're like, there's got to be more, I'm telling you right now, there is so much more.
It starts with you. And I think that as 100%. A mother and a wife and somebody who's building a corporate career, even if you're a stay-at-home mum and you're investing all of your time and energy into your children, your husband, your house, it's so easy to settle. And it's not that life isn't beautiful and amazing, but you're settling on what you truly desire, your intuition, your self-trust, your passion. And when you can kind of do that deeper inner work to reconnect to you, because that's where you have to start. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Everything else comes after you heal the relationship that you have with yourself.
Yeah. Because then everything else shifts, honestly.
External, but you've got to go inward first. And I
100%.
feel that so easy as women to dismiss that because we're so external, like looking after everyone else outside of ourselves. And you're such a beautiful and powerful testament to the transformation of this work, because you literally did the deep inner work and then changed every freaking aspect of your life at light speed, which, you know, I've done hundreds of breakthroughs. Like I've worked with over 500 women in different ways. I have seen it so many times. Like I get to finish a breakthrough with someone and watch them literally change their fucking life. Yeah. And watching you was amazing. Doing literally everything you said you wanted to do. And you had the world telling you was crazy. Don't homeschool your children. Don't take your kids out of school. Don't sell your home. Don't live in a caravan. What are you doing? Like you had the whole world telling you this was not the right thing to do. But because you built your self-trust and your self-belief, you followed your dream. You followed what you and your family truly wanted to do against what everyone else wanted to see. And everyone else was advising you to do. And now look at you guys. Do you know what I mean? It's been such an amazing experience. If you could sum up what it's like to work with me as somebody who's worked with me on and off for the last 3 years, what would you say?
It's a bloody whirlwind, honestly. Some days I'd be like, oh, my God, that's rough. But not in the sense of like nasty. It's like honest. Like you're so honestly loving and like you just care so freaking much about the person making the shift. And I will be in and out of your world. You can already see that. But it's just, I honestly have no words. I can't even explain the feeling. Like listening to the podcast, listening to the learnings from Breakthrough, listening from the learnings when we do Business Mentor. Like I don't even literally have words of what it's like to work with you. It's a feeling. And it's a knowing that you're not only going to call me out on my bullshit, but you're also going to be like, but we got this. Like, now let's do the work. Now let's change. And it's not like, okay, you go off and do the work. It's literally like, let's go. Let's go do this. And if you need me, I'm there. And it's something that I haven't seen in this industry ever before. And I've been in it for a really long time. And what you do is so special and so life-changing. Obviously, look at mine in general. Like, yeah, your motto is I lead, the universe follows. Holy moly, you just shake up everybody's universe and unapologetically, and we all just jump on and we're all here for the ride. And it's incredible.
Thank you for your beautiful words. You know, something that's really important to me in the ethos of the coaching and mentoring that I offer is that, like, it's so important to me that you walk away going, oh, I'm fucking powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I never want anyone in a session with me to feel like Krystal has the answers. Krystal's powerful. I want you to know that about yourself through our work together. So like, let me be a mirror of what you can be, the standard in which you can hold yourself to what you can create. And because, you know, I've shared my story before, like I was not always this version of myself.
Exactly.
I was, you know, I was someone with low standards and low self-discipline and no follow through. And I was a victim and I blamed everyone else. So I had to do the work on myself as well. And I was like, whoa, on the other side of that, I became so fucking powerful. I'm not perfect. And that's just like, I just want that for every woman. I'm like, wow, you don't even know how powerful you are. Let me fucking remind you. Like, let's work and remind you of your power, your purpose, who you get to be, because every day you get to choose.
Yeah, because we just have so many externals of telling us what we should be as women. And literally you remind us that,
Yes. Actually, Krystal, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We just had our final like business breakthrough session like last week. And then I messaged Krystal and I was like, I want to interview on the podcast. And we both felt like it was like the perfect way to end. You know, we've done breakthrough, we've done business mentorship. You're still in the mastermind, which goes for another 3 months. So our journey is definitely not over, but I really wanted to have you on the podcast. Your story is so incredible. You were somebody who's going after it, who's taking action. It's not always perfect and doesn't always feel amazing, but you get back up and you recover. And I love your story and I love you. And thank you so much for your time and appreciate you coming on the potty.
Thank you. I just love being in your world. Like, honestly, you've changed my life. And well, you've helped me change my life.
That's right. That's right.
So
I helped you change your life. Yeah. You did all the work, babe. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. If you loved this episode, be sure to share that with me by leaving me a review, and head over to the She Who Dares official Instagram account at She Who Dares Official, hit follow, slide into my DMs, and share with me the impact this episode has had on you. And before you go, I'm going to leave you with this. The universe is responding to you. It is following your lead. You are the one who has to move first. And when you do, the whole universe will move with you, because it's I lead, the universe follows. When I move, the universe moves with me. That is our official She Who Dares mantra. I want you to write it down, put it on a mirror, and I want you to remind yourself of it every day. When I lead, the universe follows. When I move, the universe moves with me. When you follow this She Who Dares mantra, you are going to unlock the magic of the universe, and you are stepping into your most powerful self. I can't wait to see you for the next episode. Thanks for being here.